And we have presently big war in Ukraine, and also we have huge crisis and war in Israel, between Israel and Lebanon, and also in Gaza. And it's obvious that these wars are coming from the same source, deep state of United States. They provoke both of these wars, and now they are running the same show. Can you explain us what is connection and what is the purpose? What do you think they want to achieve with these wars?
The story of Ukraine and Israel are multifaceted. I think, it's really interesting, Andrea, and I don't know what the sentiment in Croatia is, but there are a lot of evangelical Americans who think that they have to support Israel no matter what. And it's very different to what, say, Catholics or Orthodox people may believe. They have a very different belief system. But there is a deeply embedded, belief here in the United States that there has to just be support for Israel no matter what. Meanwhile, they've killed 40,000 civilians to achieve, one Hamas leader dead. I mean, it's abhorrent. It's unbelievable what war crimes this nation is committing. Genocide live on television for the first time in history. It's unthinkable. And so I think that's been a very, very long-standing plan to brainwash the people of the United States, if you will. And I don't want to use that word against them because I love them. That, the people that fight for freedom here are good people, but they don't really, I think, understand the Middle East for what it is. That region has been very important to not just, I wouldn't just say the United States deep state, I would say to the deep state as a whole, because it has religious reasons for the deep state. Whether people want to believe this or not, the deep state is satanic. They are trying to bring about the Antichrist. You don't have to believe that. If you're watching this or you're not a religious person, that's okay. You just have to understand that they want that, and you need to know your enemy. And so the Middle East, for their purposes, is very important in bringing about that agenda. What's happening in Ukraine, it's very interesting, because Ukraine has a platform called Ukraine 24. Anyone can go look it up, and you can see that Uber, Deloitte, all these prominent organizations are sponsoring this Ukraine 24. And what is it? It's funny, after I reported on it, that video that I used disappeared off the internet. I couldn't find it again. But they basically say, well, Ukraine is going to be rebuilt. And all these, dollars from Europe and the West and everywhere is going to be rebuilding Ukraine as the first AI world capital. That's what they're describing. AI government, digital currency, digital IDs, even AI judiciary. And this is going to be like the test case for the rest of the world, having this total digital new world order. That's what rebuilding Ukraine is about. And this Zelensky puppet, BlackRock little slave, is sacrificing all of these people to die in a war that has nothing to do with democracy, has nothing to do with protecting Ukrainians, absolutely nothing. It has all to do with rebuilding that country for for BlackRock and for the New World Order to have their first digitized society. And it's interesting because I've heard that a lot of people from Israel are going to Ukraine. So it's almost like they've sheltered them from the coming destruction in the Middle East. It's very obvious Netanyahu wants to go to war with Iran. That's been, the goal from the start. And without even talking about all the things that don't make sense about October 7, like the military stand down. I mean, we can talk about all of those things. The point is, I don't believe that these wars, these global wars, are what they tell us they are. And as a bare minimum, we shouldn't be sending these people billions of dollars. You want to start a war, you can go finish it. You don't need other nations to fund you, my tax dollars to fund your bloodshed. And people around the world are very, very fed up with this. And I will tell you, Andrea, there is a growing, very, very huge growing sentiment in the United States. I know people in Europe aren't, don't necessarily see that from Americans, but they are fed up with the warmongering of the United States. They're fed up.